Hi there, it's Tuesday. It's day 2 of week 17 of 52 weeks of vlogging. At least it's Tuesday somewhere. It's not Tuesday here anymore. As you can tell from my hair, I'm a little stressed out right now and just basically overcommitted and don't have enough time to do pretty much anything. Interesting side note, my hair is basically the opposite of freezing water. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger until I reach such a stage of overcommitment that I give up all hope of ever being able to wash it in the near future and I put it in a bun. So instead of doing the video which I had planned for today, which is going to take a really long time to film and take a lot of time to edit because it was going to be complicated and involve lots of graphics and additions and maybe moving things, but I'm not sure yet. Instead, I'm going to take my cue from the interwebs, which have been talking about girl and boy covers. Oh, it's no secret that I'm not really typically a fan of the girly cover, or girly anything for that matter. I mean, I have sons and I'm thrilled to have sons. It means I don't have to worry about lace and ribbons and frills and figuring out which dress goes with which shoes and which handbag. As you've probably figured out by now if you've been watching my videos for longer than like a week, these are not typically issues I concern myself with. When I see a cover that screams girl to me, I look the other way. However, by various twists of fate, mostly involving people gifting or recommending books to me, I have found myself in the possession of a number of girly cover books, and I actually like them. So I'm going to run through a few of those with you, just in case seeing that girly ass cover sitting on the shelf turned you off from reading what you would otherwise have enjoyed. Book number 1, Saving Maddie by Varian Johnson, which has lipstick lips. Now, despite the lipstick lips on the cover, this is actually a really hard-hitting book. It's about a boy who is raised in a really traditional manner and who comes across a girl who is basically damaged and broken and hurting inside and tries to figure out how he can help her and if maybe she can help him a little bit too. It does explore lovey, romancy kinds of relationships, but it also explores cultural relationships and the relationships that we have with our family and with our town and with the people we grow up with and around. And it explores the relationship we have with ourselves and with our identity, which is based partly on those people we've grown up with and around. It's an excellent read and you should definitely check it out. Number 2, The Summoning, another book with lipsticky lips and jewelry. But it's by Kelley Armstrong, who is a New York Times #1 best-selling author and who happened to come to my local bookstore one day, so I picked up a copy of her book because I wanted her to sign it because she was going to be there. Which I'm glad she was, because holy F-bombs, this is a good book. This book has ghosts and thrills and chills and it grabbed me from the first page, and once you pick it up you will not put it down until you're done. And maybe not even then. You might just go back to the first page and start reading again. Kelley is a really smart lady and she writes really smart books. Get your hands on it for sure. Book number 3, Across the Universe by Beth Revis, which is a kissing book. Until you open the cover and find out that it's actually a spaceship book. This is so much better. And not only is Across the Universe mostly a spaceship book, it's also a mystery book, it's also a murder book, and it's fantastic. It raises questions about politics and control and leadership and what's responsible leadership and what's just like fascist crap, and everybody should read it, despite the kissy cover. Not surprisingly, they ditched the kissy cover for the paperback version. Next up, The Secret Year by Jennifer Hubbard, another kissing book. Looking at covers like this just makes me want to vomit, which is unfortunate because it's actually a really good book. It's about a boy whose girlfriend dies in a car accident, and this causes him to wonder if she was ever really his girlfriend at all, and how she felt about him and how he felt about her and what was real and what was imagined and just what the nature of their relationship really was. It's a coming of age story. It's a mystery to a certain degree because he wonders why she died the way she died. It's just excellent. It's very well written and you should definitely read it. Just cover that part. Next up, The Bermuda's Triangle by Maureen Johnson, with hearts really... I talked about this book before in my 6 books in under 6 minutes video when I just started it and I liked it and I finished it now and I still liked it. The characters are excellent, the plot is really interesting, it deals with all kinds of things. There is a little bit of kissing, but there's girl on girl kissing, which is really fascinating. It talks about teenage sexuality and exploration of teenage sexuality. It just deals with a lot of really tough issues that a lot of teenagers are facing right now, and it deals with it in a really compassionate and wonderful and real way. I think this book is worth reading. Just pretend those hearts are weapons of some nature. They don't feature in the book, but they will make you feel better about holding it. Also by Maureen Johnson, The Name of the Star, which, oh God, honestly, lace and swirls Really? I basically only picked this up because John Green was going on and on and on and on and on and on about Maureen Johnson and how amazing and amazing and amazing and amazing and amazing and amazing she was. And basically, if John Green blurbs it, I'm going to read it. I spent a fortune on his books, and that gave him power over me. This cover is vaguely redeemed by the shadow of a man in the background looking over the woman who is not in a shadow and who is also not dressed in 17th century garb or 18th century garb, or whatever that is, but not completely. It's not a horrible cover, but it's definitely a girly ass cover, which is unfortunate because this is like the opposite of a girly ass book. It's set in London and it's all about murders that mimic Jack the Ripper, which is like totally not a girly ass thing to think about at all, and it's awesome. And as in the case with Across the Universe, for the paperback version, they redid the cover. This is so much better. This experiment shows two things to me. The first thing it shows is that yes, my anti-cover bias is definitely still intact. And yes, some good books really do hide inside some truly unfortunate covers, which is a shame. But on the other hand, the second thing it shows is that publishers are finally catching on to the fact that some of these girly covers are unfortunate, simply because an awful lot of people feel the way I do. Evidently more people than anybody thought. Certainly more people than I thought, because I figured that those covers must be selling. Otherwise, why would they even be on the books? But it also raises an interesting question for me, which is, why did those covers get on the books? Where did this whole girly cover trend come from? I mean, yes, they really work for people like Danielle Steele, but is that where they came from? Is that what started this whole girly cover thing? I will be looking for the answer to that question, and I may come across it, and if I do, I will certainly share it with you in the future. If any one of you know the answer to that question, tell me in the comments. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.